Alright, what's up everybody? My name is Sen, welcome back to the channel, and for today's video we're actually talking a little bit about Street Fighter. Now, if you didn't already know, Street Fighter's been on this channel multiple times, obviously a very popular franchise in the fighting game scene. If you're familiar with the channel, you might know that I used to primarily play Dragon Ball FighterZ. That was my main and primary game. I've loved that game for a long time, it's one of my favorite games of all time, but the flame has long since faded for the game. I'm not a Dragon Ball player anymore, I'm just a fighting game player. Not a great one by any means or anything like that, but I enjoy the genre of fighting games very, very much. It's one of my favorite genres of all time, and this was kind of an impromptu video to attempt to capture that spark again, that feeling that I had for Dragon Ball FighterZ, that wild love, that passion to grind and get better, and that hunger to reach the next level in that game. I spent a lot of time hoping a game would come along and bring that out of me, but I'm kind of having the inverse line of thinking where I think it's me who has to put myself into that game for that same feeling to come back to me. I invested a lot of time in the Dragon Ball FighterZ, not as much as other people. Like, I invested a little over 1,000 hours, probably like somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,200 or so. I took that game pretty seriously for myself. I thought it would be Guilty Gear that kind of came around and like killed Dragon Ball for me, like really made me sink a bunch of time, and I did sink a considerable amount of time into that game, but I ultimately found myself going back to Dragon Ball. Now Street Fighter 6 has come out a little bit ago, it's got some time on it now, and I think I've ultimately decided that this is the game that I want to focus on and spend a lot of time on. I'm obviously going to be playing other fighting games as well, but I think this is like my official start, because I've played all these other games but I haven't taken them seriously. I haven't put in the time or the effort to really get better at them, and this is kind of what the start of this actually is. If you don't know my skill level, which rank doesn't say much, but to give you an approximation, I vary from platinum to diamond rank. I played a number of characters throughout my time with Street Fighter 6 so far. I messed around casually with Guile, Ryu, a little bit of Luke, a little bit of Rashid, some Dhalsim, Kimberly for the briefest of times, and I settled on my mains being Ken and Cammy. Now from launch I actually ultimately decided on Cammy being my main. I didn't know she was going to be top tier, but before the game even released I was pretty set on Cammy. Now with me finally taking the game seriously, I wanted to do a little bit of experimentation, and the character I was going to be picking up was going to be Chun-Li. Not particularly a charge character player, but I wanted to give her a fair shot, and let me just say, it's like learning how to play Street Fighter all over again. Muscle memory from other characters were absolutely coming into play and making me do things that I didn't want to do. Learning basic B&Bs with the character was really tough for me. There was a lot of things I was forgetting. It really felt as if I was a fresh player. Chun-Li is going to be a stopgap. I don't think she'll be my main by any means, but I'm going to have some fun with her for the interim. And, you know, it gives me a deeper understanding of the game. Now, what do I mean by taking the game more seriously? Well, I was kind of just developing an autopilot with each character, very simple game plan. But with me taking the game more seriously, it's going to have conversations with myself more like this. Standing medium punch is +1, which leaves us spaced for a light kick. So we have advantage. Go for a 5-frame normal, which actually reaches that distance. It makes me wish as if back when I was playing Dragon Ball FighterZ, I knew as much as I did now when it comes to fighting games, and had that same hunger that I did back then. It's very likely I'll settle on a character I've already played, but for right now I'm just having a little bit of fun with the game. We can talk briefly about struggles just for a bit of relatability, because fighting games are tough, especially once you want to raise your level. Like, you kind of find where the dust settles and you find your level, and that's pretty easy to get to, but when it comes to actually ascending past that, that's when things get a little bit harder. From a beginner level, it's not that hard to progress, but at my level, where you're kind of at this weird intermediate where you're not bad at these games, but you're also not great. This was really tough for me because, like I said, I had no comfortability with this character. Like, I couldn't remember what my pokes were mid-match, I couldn't remember what my punishes were, I couldn't remember combos. I didn't really have a combo until the end of the recording session. I didn't really have a game plan in neutral. I didn't know what I was doing with this character. I was kind of bumbling around, and honestly, like, I was getting killed by like really scrubby tactics from like Ken players or whatever. That was blowing me up because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do with my character. Ultimately, by the end of the recording session, I felt a little bit more comfortable with the character, but honestly, like, Ooh, the whole time was just rough. Like, it was brutal. This isn't gonna dissuade me from playing more Chun-Li. Like, I'm gonna give her her fair chance, and then ultimately, if I decide to keep on playing her, great. Honestly, I was expecting to drop dramatically in rank. I think by the end of things, I ranked, I want to say Plat 2. And which is all right, you know. I'm started placing Diamond with Cammy and then Ryu, and then maybe if I redid my placements with Ken, I might even place Diamond with Ken, who knows. But I mean, even as far as my basics were just out the window because I just didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't know what to do with my hands, so I was jumping way more. I wasn't anti-airing any stuff like that. Like, my punishes were whack. My combos were whack. They did get a little bit better, but dude, just all across the board, it was rough. But I mean, that should be telling that even someone that is experienced as I am, which, like, I'm not gonna say that I'm great at these games or anything like that. I'm okay. But, like, even someone that spent as much time as I have can be, like, stumbling and bumbling around and feeling like scrubby all over again. Like, it really was like learning how to play a fighting game for the first time. But I think that's where we're going to wrap things up. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of the video. If you guys want to see more, check out the rest of the channel. In the description, there's links to not just my channel, but my friends' channels as well as my second channel, shared channel, all that good stuff. If you guys have any advice for Chun-Li, I am going to be doing, like, match analysis type videos in the future, so I can kind of wrap my head around the character a little bit better. But yeah, that is going to do things. Enjoy the rest of the video. Peace. What is up with all the geese? I don't understand. That's good answer. Wow. Oh, what a jump in. I'm actually I felt pretty good about that loss. Wow, that grab was so far. I got me. I felt good about that loss. Obviously losing sucks, but I feel better about how I lost there. Felt like I was playing a little cleaner. Oh no. What? Why was that your first thought? Oh, okay.
There we go. Feeling better about it. I'm feeling better about it. I did say I was feeling better about it. All right. I don't know what to do there. Oh, nice kick. Ooh. Oh. Nice, got me. Alright, we both have meters, so we'll be careful about how we use it. Level 3.